Ladies and gentlemen, this interview is brought to you by Burn Up Coaching and the 21-Day Challenge. And if you are an entrepreneur or a high achiever and you are committed to discovering your purpose, living it, you really want to tap into that next gear, next level, higher level of intensity or passion or love or fun or joy or deeper relationships, deeper connection, spirituality, whatever that is for you, and you want to achieve it blazing fast with the highest level of integrity and love and fulfillment as possible, 21-Day Challenge is just for you. What we do is we get clear on your statement of purpose, your vision, mission, strategy, objectives, the most important things for you, your motivations, your dream lifestyle, what you're going to be creating. And we break that down into bite-sized steps, 3 years, 1 year, 6 months, 3 months, 1 month, and 1 week goals, so you have a clear plan and path of action. Every single day, you'll take action on your top priority for your 21-day goal, your 21-day challenge, so that you can succeed at that long-term life purpose. You'll reignite your passion, reignite your self-belief, and succeed like never before. You'll dial in your daily habits, routines, rituals, and really make sure that you're preparing and set yourself up for success. Okay, so that's the 21-Day Challenge. If you're interested and committed and ready to blast off, send me an email, chris@beyourgps.com, or send me a message on Facebook and let me know you're ready for your 21-Day Challenge, and you'll get that one-on-one VIP premium experience with me to help you achieve your 21-day goal. Lots of fun. Next is the iTunes review of the week, and that is inspired by Obsidian. And Obsidian says, Soul Fire. Whenever I have the opportunity to connect with Chris, he leaves me feeling inspired, refreshed, and determined. People like Chris are examples of what becoming your greatest possible self looks like. A gift to this world, a walking, talking, and thriving legacy. Thank you, Chris. Thanks so much, Obsidian. I appreciate you giving us that review. And if you're out there and you're listening, you're loving the show, you want us to improve, do things differently, leave us a review. Let us know. And we can always grow even more into our greatest possible selves with that feedback. So thank you in advance for doing that. Go to beyourgps.com/iTunes or search Becoming Your Greatest Possible Self on iTunes or on Facebook and leave us a review there. Thank you so much for doing that. Next up, this woman is a powerhouse. Bhavna. Man, she is just a spiritual leader, full of love, full of empowerment, full of gifts to really help you become your greatest possible self. So make sure you stay tuned. Make sure you really dive into the wisdom and the power that she's been representing and going to be showing us here today, because we are absolutely in for a treat. Okay, so Bhavna's going to rock it. So hang tight, stay through all the way through the interview, because she is going to share the gold. Bhavna's mission is to create a ripple effect of love in the hearts of 100 million women, children, men, and veterans, which would lead to peace in families, communities, and the world, replacing anger, hurt, pain, traumas, PTSD, negative emotions, fears, sickness, illness, ill treatment, mental, emotional, physical, and sexual abuse, and much more. She provides healing at the core level, both spiritual and physical, to those who are suffering from an illness or looking for a way to move forward and be unstuck in their life's journey or purpose. She does this through one-on-one group classes, workshops, and retreats all over the world. Oh my goodness gracious. We are absolutely blessed to have her here with us today. Bhavna, are you ready to rock this?
Yes, I am, Chris.
Awesome. Awesome. You're now live on Becoming Your Greatest Possible Self. Thank you so much for joining us today and sharing your wisdom and love with our audience. We appreciate you taking the time out of your schedule to really generously gift us with your wisdom and your spirituality and all the things that you've experienced in life, because I'm sure we're going to dive into some amazing stuff today. So thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm glad to be on this show with you.
Awesome. It's been a long time coming. We've been trying to figure something out and get together and support each other and do things for a long time now. So I'm grateful we were able to make it happen. And now is the moment. So we're here and now. And speaking of here and now, today's theme is presence. So Bhavna, how has this concept, this aspect of life called presence, how has that made a difference for you in your journey?
It is a big part of my everyday, every moment living. And I realized, if you want to be happy in your life, you have to enjoy your moments.
Yeah.
And the smaller moments as well, smaller moments every day, every moment makes it bigger moments,
Mm.
creates, it creates that ripple effect, and that creates your future. So it's very important to enjoy those moments. And if you don't enjoy it, life just passes by you and you actually don't remember anything, you
Mm.
know. So then you remember, the moments like while you're sleeping.
Mm.
When you wake up, you don't remember where did those 8 hours go.
Right.
you know
Right. Right.
but while you're awake, if you can remember and enjoy every moment of your day, then you've lived one day.
Wow, that's powerful. I love that because sometimes we don't take into account when we practice gratitude for whatever this pen or this interview or whatever it might be. Like we can practice this gratitude on the small scale, and then that will ripple effect. It will magnify. It will amplify to create the big wins, like celebrating a super successful book launch, or getting to number one on Amazon bestseller, or getting whatever, $1 million deal, whatever it might be. It's like it's the small things that we practice gratitude for, and stay tuned into that energy that creates the big massive ripple effects and big victories that I think a lot of people are searching for and striving for in life. They want the car, they want the house, they want the relationship of their dreams, whatever it is, and it's through those small moments and being present that we get there.
Exactly.
That is beautiful. That's beautiful.
Exactly. And that's what I believe in, because, normally people would say, oh, I want to be a millionaire and I
Mm,
want to become that. And I always say, enjoy who you are right now in
that's
your
right.
journey every single day. Because one day you would be that, but you wouldn't remember if you just wanted to, if somebody just gave you the $1 million,
Mm,
you know,
wow.
you would just remember that, oh my God, I got that, but you would not value your
Mm,
journey if you were taken through every day, every moment, receiving and valuing that money. Does that
wow.
make sense? A lot of
Yeah.
people forget about that part in their lives, even including love.
Mm,
Love is so important because that's all about relationships in your life. So I focus on relationships, and that's what makes you, and relationships can hurt people, and
mm,
that's what throws them off from being in the moment. So
mm.
I teach them how you need to come back to being in the moment and shift your perspective of the past, present, and the future, but just be in the now, which is very important, because
Yeah.
now is what becomes the past tomorrow,
Yeah.
and now is what becomes your tomorrow.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. So you have this wealth of wisdom. You have a lot of different expertises: writing a book, having your own healing center, being a coach, a mentor, all these things. Like, tell us a little bit more about what you got going on and what you're working on for anyone who's just meeting you and connecting with you for the first time.
Right. So I do a lot of things. I love teaching people. I love transforming their lives.
Yeah.
And I do it with a lot of different things in my toolkit,
Hmm. Hmm.
which is like coaching, mentoring, training them, and shifting and releasing energetic blocks in their lives, and also through workshops, helping them with their mindsets and belief systems, which they have been ingrained. I call it just like the computer has a hardware. You come in with the hardware system,
Hmm.
and you are, sometimes it's like a narrow mind. You're just blocked with that, and you're following that path, black and white. And if life happens, you're out of it. So
Hmm.
I help guide you through that, holding your hand and releasing those blocks, not just coaching you, but releasing energetically and shifting you into that, and making it beautiful for you,
Yeah.
bringing that love and happiness inside to the core of you. And that's why I
Mm.
call it like I do healing to the core in my workshops, in my retreats. So people come to me for one thing, and they, then I do meditations. I'm also a yoga teacher,
Mm.
and my next goal, which is very close to me right now, is I want to do free yoga for all.
Mm.
Just people come in, because it's like mind, body, heart, soul connection.
Totally.
But if your mind is, mind, I can take care and I can clear it. But if your body is hurting, or if you have aches and pains, it's
Yeah.
like, what do? Everybody cannot go to the gym and work out, and I've experienced that in my personal life. And sometimes you could be hurting because of a relationship issues,
Mm.
and but you don't want to talk about it. So yoga is a nice way of letting go. So I'm just being called to offer free yoga for everyone who would come
Wow.
to me.
That's beautiful. And I see you're giving people different access points to receive the benefits which you provide, which is core healing. And, especially yoga is one of those places where it doesn't really take much. It takes a level of confidence and kind of vulnerability, so to speak, to put yourself into a class where you don't know other people and stuff like that. And I think it's much less invasive than having a coaching session or something like that, where people really dig into that deepest level of what their experience is, which can be for a lot of people who aren't comfortable with it or aren't used to it, that aren't fluent in that language of personal development and self-discovery. It can be challenging. So I really see what you're doing as a huge, value add to meet people wherever they're at. And it's like, hey, like, come in for free yoga. And if you have challenges, let's work on them together. Let's figure it out together. And I really just see it's like a huge, almost like a amusement park that you provide, for people, different services.
I'm trying to provide something, a wellness for everyone at every different level.
Yeah.
Whether they are children, whether they're adults, whether they're seniors, men, women, there's no separation. But it's like we all go through life and we all get through stresses, but we all hold it in our bodies in different ways and different parts. So some people hold it in the mind, in the head, and they're like stressed in their head and worried and, are going through becoming crazy, actually. Actually you feel that way. And some have aches and pains and they don't know, and they go to doctors' offices and their doctors are saying everything is okay and fine, and they don't know why do they have this aches and pain. And so they're trying to do all these different kinds of tests, that there's something going on and wrong with me. So I feel there's one place I want to create where they can come in and be not judged by anybody, but try different things and feel what connects with them and what actually helps them release that.
Yeah, I love it. I
could
love
be
it.
mental or emotional, or it could be something with the heart, like they went through a relationship breakup, or they're going through a bad divorce, or went through it, or they're going through issues with their children, teenagers or young children, or they're going through issues with their parents, or taking care of them, or with the partners. So sometimes you go through so much in life and you are not told, or you're not never guided or told you can actually go and do this, or you have help here. There are people becoming more aware of spirituality, but they don't know how to actually access it or how to actually combine it in helping their entire self. So I'm trying to give them that platform where they can just come in and help themselves for their body and try it for free and feel good.
Yeah. Well, I love this. I love this because I want to hear more and dive into more like the how and, what we can do in our own world and how we can, transform, start doing that. And the listeners and viewers, how they can start taking actions that will help change themselves and help evolve and grow themselves and heal themselves. Before we get into that, though, I want to dive back into your journey. Like, how did you get to where we are today? What were some of those defining moments that, you discovered your purpose, you discovered that this was your calling, you discovered that this really fulfills you to be able to heal people and that this is your path?
Yes. I'm actually, with my education, I'm not actually entirely different. I'm an MBA with banking and finance background.
Wow.
And I was in a different world. And was pulled by God. I actually called God because that's what he did. To pull this work, because I had people who would, when I was not doing this work at all and did not even believe into all this, I was like very black and white and straight head. And people coming, knocking at my door and just saying, doctor gave them this many days to live. And we found out about you from so-and-so, so-and-so, so-and-so. And please help us. So they had like a week or 2 weeks or a month to live. And so they would come into my house and we would all be surprised. And I would like, what? But I don't know. So they would come with their entire family and my entire family would sit and entertain them. And I would take them in a room and I would think like, God, what am I supposed to do with this person? I don't know. But I would do something and those people are still living. So that kept coming back to me over the years. And, I I have this gift, and I connected with God in my personal journey. Where one time I had a bad sciatica nerve, and I was 7 months pregnant with my second son.
Wow.
And he pressed on the nerve, and I couldn't even walk. And the doctor said it would get better once the baby comes out. And it actually got worse. I was on crutches, and I couldn't even walk. And I love to dance. I love to move. I couldn't even dance. And one time I even had like a paralytic attack in my whole right leg, and I couldn't move. I was rushed into ER by my husband. So that's when I actually connected with God, and I started to hear and talk with him. And it was like 24 hours. And then he said, it's like you have these gifts and you need to tap into it. And I was looking and searching for a guru.
Right.
I went to every place you could imagine and I would tell them, I would like you to be my guru and, teach me or something. And I would come back and I would realize, and God would say, so how was it? I was like, they are still searching for answers and they're not peaceful themselves. And I actually have peace within. So I just want to learn more, but I do have peace within. So could you please teach me? And I turned to him and he said, yes. And he became my teacher, and I learned so much more from him. And actually in 2012, I quit everything I was doing and I actually said yes to him to doing this full time.
Wow.
Since then, I've never turned back, and I've written 2 books. But one is a bestseller. One I actually give hand to hand. It's not online because it has the energy from the angels, the divine, and so it's supposed to be given that way. That I just, whatever they say, I just do it that way. Right. So now the total, 360 turnaround, literally. Not just 180 degrees. I'm calling it like a total 360.
Right.
Total believer and just helping people. And I actually love it. I'm so passionate about it. And, when people tell me their problems, I cry with them, hearing them. And then if I can do it, and I will pray for them, not just heal them, pray for them, but then I use the tools I have to help them get through with that. So it's interesting, and sometimes I get to, as I learned with God, I get to see different visions for people and what I need to do. So it's interesting how I have grown over the years, and I can help people through that.
Oh, that's awesome. I love it. I love it. So I want to start diving into like how healing, what is healing, and how do we approach healing in our own lives so that we are the highest self that we can be, the highest form mentally, physically, spiritually that we can be. Let's start diving into that.
So the healing part is very interesting because it's a very broad range.
Right.
And you can start with anything. You can start with physical healing, emotional healing, mental healing. But the way I like to start is your healing starts when you accept yourself as who you are, with your faults and your gifts, because sometimes people live in denial and and they don't connect with themselves, or they're judging themselves all the time. Because it's something inbuilt in them, like the hardware which comes in. But the moment you accept yourself as who you are and learn to love yourself, because that's the next step. Once you accept, then we can bring in love. But it's sometimes for people, it's hard to receive love, and to even know, oh my God, I can have love. No, I can't have love.
Yeah.
So it's even hard for someone to even think about love as approachable to them, or they can have in their lives. So I always start with, let's accept yourself. Let's accept who you are. And then they have a hard time doing that too. So
how does someone go through that process? Like, what does that look like on a tactical level of I accept myself, and going from a place of I don't accept myself to I do accept myself? What do I say? What do I do? What do I write? Where do I go? That kind of thing.
So let's do one thing.
Okay.
While we're talking about it, let's start with my process.
Okay.
Let's do a little clearing.
Cool.
Okay. While people are on this. Yes. And, this will be on your podcast, so they can always come back and listen to it as many times and clear themselves with this as many times. Okay. And the energy would stay as I bring in the energy. So just take a deep breath in and just close your eyes and bring your any hand to your heart. So just taking a deep breath in and just letting go of your stresses right now. And not just connecting with anything but your chest. Your hand feeling your chest. That's it. That your hand is on your chest. And I want to saying it to yourself now just repeat after me. I would like to connect with myself now.
I would like to connect with myself now.
I know I have not connected with myself in a long time.
I know I have not connected with myself in a long time.
But it's time I did now.
But it's time I did now.
And it's okay to do it.
It's okay to do it.
Because Bhavna is guiding me.
Because Bhavna is guiding me.
She's holding my hand.
She's holding my hand.
And she's energetically protecting me.
And she's energetically protecting me.
I am safe.
I am safe.
I can connect to myself.
I can connect
safely.
to myself safely.
And it's okay.
And it's okay.
So take a deep breath again. And breathe out. So how does that feel?
Awesome. Yes.
So that's basically the first step in accepting yourself, is to connect to yourself, because that's so important and we forget about that part,
Yeah.
and we are running, doing and living our lives. We forget to connect to ourselves. We want to connect to people we love. If you are looking for a partner, you are meeting and going on dates, trying to connect to them. But if you don't connect to yourself, how can you connect to somebody else?
Wow.
Right?
And it's as simple as placing our hands over our heart or whatever it might be, closing our eyes and saying, and giving ourselves permission to connect with ourselves.
Exactly. And sometimes that can evoke a lot of emotions for people, and they can actually burst out crying, and it's if people have had a traumatic experiences and literally closed down.
They've pushed it down so much that they don't want to connect with themselves. They don't want anything to do with feeling their emotions, because they know what happens when they do that. It's like overwhelming, full of anxiety or fear or whatever else might be there.
Right, because most of the time people are living these days in anxiety. Anxiety about performance, being perfect, and living in a world where they have to be their best. There's so much competition coming up. So they are so anxious about everything. So they forget to connect to themselves.
Yeah.
And this is actually where they have the anxiety. Most of them. Some have it in their stomach, but most of the people have it right here on the chest. Wow. And that's why I said, we're not even going to your heart. We're just connecting to your chest right now.
Wow, that's powerful. So we get connected with ourselves. Then what is the next step?
Then I do a lot of different things, but let's do a quick accepting yourself. Okay. So just sit back again and close your eyes. Let's put our hands back on your chest. And just repeat after me. Today, I choose to accept myself. The way I am. I might not like myself. I might have a lot of judgments. About how I am. How I live my life. What I do. What I don't do. And why I feel this way. About myself. And all the different things people say about me. Which I don't like.
which I don't like,
but I judge myself more with that.
but I judge myself more with that.
I release that.
I release that.
I allow Bhavna's energies,
I allow Bhavna's energies,
her golden light,
her golden light,
to clear this.
to clear this.
And I give her the permission
And I give her the permission
to let me be me,
to let me be me,
so I can accept myself
so I can accept myself
for who I am,
for who I am,
with my good and the bad,
with my good and the bad,
because that's how I come into this world.
because that's how I come into this world,
And everyone else too.
and everyone else too.
And I'm a human being,
And I'm a human being,
not a robot.
not a robot,
So it's okay.
so it's okay.
So just take 2 deep breaths in. Go in the dark. How did that feel?
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, I feel like getting more and more energized and purified, energized, reinvigorated, rejuvenated every time. Like, it's awesome. It's beautiful.
Right. So I brought in my energy to release all that you were holding, the
Wow.
judgment about different things within yourself, because it's all that it is, but it's more, the core is you. And you is what is important in your life, not anything else around you or what people are saying, because we make that as us instead of who we are inside. Because inside is who you are. That is what is part of the divine, and that is who is powerful.
Man, that's so profound, because it's when we're looking outside to others for our external validation, for the accolades, for the things like we were talking about in the very beginning with presence. It's like those little things that we can acknowledge and recognize about ourselves. That's really where the power comes from. It's not from people external or big achievements external. It's from within, the daily practice of loving ourselves, of self-care, self-love, nurturing, to be able to fuel ourselves and be our greatest possible selves.
That's right. Because that's the important part to know. That's why I keep saying it's like, live in the moment, live in the now, enjoy every small moments, even if it's the worst moment of your life, enjoy it. Because that's there to teach you something. That's there to shift your life.
Let's dive into that. I'm sure you have a ton of experience and wisdom about like those gifts that people receive in the form of disasters or challenges or whatever it might be. How can we really use those to grow and be better and heal ourselves and be our greatest possible selves? Right.
I mean, those are the events. Sometimes people call them traumas. Sometimes they call them griefs. Sometimes they call them an incident in their life, which was not good.
Right.
Or the circumstances, but I call it, they are just an experience in your life for you to grow. Just like when you are growing, you have to go through different sizes of clothes, right?
Right.
Every day you cannot be wearing, if you are an 18-year-old, you cannot be wearing your 2-year-old clothes.
Right.
And that's the major part we all forget. Wow. We want to wear the 2-year clothes while we are supposed to be wearing the 18-year-old clothes.
Right.
Right. So that's how the life experiences are too, that you have another experience, you take that shirt off, you've grown, now it's time to get a bigger size shirt.
Yeah, so that's with regards to our character and our capacity. Is that like what grows and what expands?
Exactly. And that's how you become more of you every day. As you grow physically, you are, with your experiences, growing wisdom. And you're becoming more of you. Right? Because when you're younger, you are little you. But when you grow older, And there comes a stage when you stop growing and you are just that tall, right?
Right.
But your growth in life never stops.
Right.
It only stops when you die physically.
Wow.
You know, spiritually it does not even stop then. But you're supposed to be growing every day in your journey.
Right.
And your experiences should be making you having beautiful experiences, shifting you and transforming you. Just like the cells, they're growing in your body every day, whether you eat or you don't eat.
Right.
You know, and that's how the experience in life should be. And when you have that, you should connect with them. Okay. So for example, let's take an example. So say somebody had heartbreak.
Okay.
You know, I'm just giving an example, a name. Let's put a name, Sam, and let's say, give me another name, Lisa.
Okay.
Okay. So they were dating and they were together for some time, and they decided that it's not going the way they're supposed to, and they break off. Okay. Now, so say Lisa was very much into the relationship and she was the emotional kind, and Sam says, you know what, I'm not into it, and let's go our separate ways. So they decide to go our separate ways, but Lisa takes it very strongly and she says, yes, it's mutually done, but she is hurt to the core, thinking there's something wrong with her. That's why he does not want to be in relationship with her and fell off love from her. And that's why does not love her anymore. So that means there's something wrong in me. Maybe I don't look so pretty anymore. Maybe I've gained weight, or maybe I'm too thin, or, you know, physically she starts judging herself, or she, you know, so she starts to look herself down. Okay. And then say a year passes. So in that 1 year, she's actually brought herself feeling very low and very negative and very stressed, and that I don't deserve love. I don't deserve anybody in my life.
Right.
And then she meets somebody down like in a year's time or 8 months. And this person, another person, say Alan, comes into her life, but she's like very excited, like, oh my God, he's so good, yay. But she still has those feelings pent up in herself with what was the name, first name I gave? Sam.
Yeah.
Sam said, and her going through that feeling of I'm not good enough for him and there's something wrong with me. So say something happened with the next person, Alan, who comes in and they have a fight. And so those feelings, that fight actually creates a trigger for her, and all those feelings come right back up.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So when you are in that relationship and then she starts and she goes down, and she might go into a depression. Right? Thinking, oh my God, I'm not good enough in this and that, and have anxiety about those issues. So what I do in this is, when they come to me, is I would clear the energy she's holding in from Sam first. Right? And then with my coaching and mentoring, I would help her understand the issues of how she feels and the mindsets and the beliefs she's creating and recreating in her mind and her brain. And the brain is the biggest part of your body, which is basically the mind. And what message through your mind you give it to your body, that's what the body accepts it. And so that's how you build your character in your mind, and you build your body and your postures accordingly. You know, so whether your posture is low or like really big and high, or no, I just want to hide, or, you know, so it all depends on what you're going through and what your mindsets and belief system have been created by you, by your experience at that time. So I'm able to shift her, if she comes to me right after Sam, able to shift her during the period before she meets Alan. Okay. And then when she goes and meets Alan, she's actually a totally new woman, more like herself again.
Right.
And then she can be into that relationship 100%.
Right.
You know, so that trigger actually never happens. So even if they have a fight, she's not getting all these emotions coming up again and getting angry, hurt, or depressed or sad.
Yeah, so that's exactly what I was going to say. It's like once you heal that, then the same thing could happen. It's just about how she perceives it, right? And in which case there wouldn't be a trigger ready to go off that sets her down an emotionally downward spiral. It's kind of the same thing as like they talk about the law of attraction. When you're like vibrating negative energy or negative thoughts, and you're at the stoplight, and someone crashes into you, right, and into your back, in the back of you, like. It's not necessarily that you said I don't want someone to crash into me, or I don't want something right now, but it's just putting out negative stuff is what will attract that, and it's like it'll trigger it and trigger you. Versus if that same thing could happen, the same event could happen. You could get someone who crashes into the back of you, and if you're not vibrating negative energy, then you'll just be like, oh, well, it happened. At least I'm safe. At least I'm good, and it won't take you down this spiral. Yeah. And especially if you're in a high vibration and energy, then that probably happened to prevent you from something else, even worse, or change the course of your life in some other way that we can't even understand or fathom.
That's so true. And that's why I love helping people, and I do different things at different times. Like I said, I do the mindsets and belief system workshops where I clear people's mindsets, where they come ingrained with that, like ingrained with guilt or shame, or I'm not good enough, or some things they have received from their parents or grandparents, so I do that. I do those clearings in the workshops. And then I bring you, I make you more of you by taking you to different retreats. I go around the world, or at my center, where people would come in, and I would bring in these beautiful energies, I call it the divine energies, who would come in and help you to have those energies. So even if you are going through stressful times during your life, those energies help you get through it.
Yeah.
And just breeze through it and not stay connected with that. And that's why you're able to live the moments and just say, yeah, that's fine. Next.
Yeah.
And you don't stress over it.
Yeah.
Whereas if you don't have that, then you're just sometimes caught up in that, and you I call it prolonging your misery. Because then you're just stuck in it. And that's where people create patterns. Yeah. And it's hard for them, or I call it the hamster wheel. They're stuck in that hamster wheel pattern, and it's hard for them to come out of it.
Yeah. So as far as being proactive about removing stress from our relationships, what can we do like right now to really empower ourselves to let go of anything that doesn't serve us? How can we really step into that self-love, self-care, and remove the stress from our relationships?
The most important part is, just like I said, living in the moment, living in the now, in your relationship, understanding when you are with your partner or with somebody you love, that you enjoy that moment. And the basic thing which actually affects us these days from being in the moment is actually your cell phone.
Yeah.
Because people might be, so say if a mom is at a child's game, a baseball game, and watching the game, so instead of watching the game and encouraging and enjoying how the son hit the ball and, watching that, she's either busy clicking the pictures where you actually missed, and you're watching it on the smaller screen, right, where it could have been a bigger screen, which is like the live, right? or she's busy texting. So then somebody clapped. Oh, your son hit,
It's like, oh, what?
They actually missed out the whole thing. And they, like when I went on my retreat, I would just tell you that, just getting off the topic, to my Peru retreat in August this year, I went there and I wasn't even clicking pictures. And I was just like, oh. And people like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm just taking pictures with my eyes and taking this moment into me forever.
Yes.
I can close my eyes anytime and I can be right here back again.
Yes. Oh my gosh, that's beautiful. And that's something that, people never think about, is like you can literally just say, hey, I can close my eyes and be right back here and recreate it and be re-inspired, reinvigorated, rejuvenated by it just by closing my eyes. That's so powerful.
Exactly. So It's just being in that moment right then and there, is when you can actually enjoy
Mm.
and you can give that acknowledgement to the other person that you appreciate that person.
Mm.
Because that's what happens in relationship issues is most of the time is you're not acknowledging, and the person that feels disrespectful, that I'm not getting the respect in this relationship from you.
Mm.
So, but if you are there and you're acknowledging the other person's presence and you're enjoying, even if you are going out for dinner and just watching that person, looking the person in the eye and smiling, that's all that other person needs in your life. That you're looking at them and smiling and just talking and being right there.
Yeah, that's one of the biggest things that I found with my girlfriend is that when I just like am listening to her and just being there with her, like looking her in the eyes, like I can just sit there and kind of, it's like getting lost in that moment, getting just completely enveloped and I don't know, like just there's a timelessness to it. There's a going so deep into the present moment that I lose like touch with reality. It's like, wait, what? I have this physical body. I completely forgot about it because I was just so with you and like staring into her soul and like connecting with her at that deepest level. And it's so beautiful.
I actually call it's like love is timeless.
Yes.
You just have to feel it and be in it. And then you just throw that energy into every moment of your life.
Wow. And it's a choice too. It's not like, oh, you have to get into this situation to be able to experience that. It's like we can experience that love and timelessness everywhere. Like you said, being in the moment in Peru, you were capturing the moment with your eyes. Like that's all it takes is just choosing to appreciate the moment. And it doesn't even have to be in Peru. It can be like right now in your room, in your house, on your street, on your block, whatever it might be. It's like we can truly just access that at any time. It's so beautiful.
Exactly. And like I said, just like you said, staying with your girlfriend in that moment and creating the timelessness. And say you come back into you're not with her and you're at work and you're having a stressful day. But if you just close your eyes and feel her, and that love is going to come back and that stress would just disappear. And you'll be ready to handle it, and it'll just fall off.
For people who are
you've shifted your vibration, you've shifted your frequency, and you've shifted from the stressful energy to the love energy.
Right. For people who are not currently in a relationship and they had good times with someone in the past, but there was a lot of maybe things that weren't so great and like toxic moments in a relationship, would you recommend that it's still good to feel back into that old relationship even if it wasn't the healthiest relationship?
Yes, because I always say if you were in love, your love actually never dies. Love is always there. It's you who have chosen to move forward without that person.
Wow.
But the love is still in there. So connect to the love and feel that and allow yourself to be loved by yourself with that love.
Wow.
Not the person. I'm talking about the love, the feeling of that love.
Yeah.
Because like I said, love is unconditional. There's no conditions attached to it. So you still have the love. And you might be single and you might be hurting. You can actually take that energy of love in your heart and just fill your heart with that love. That I actually had somebody love me. Instead of saying, I don't have love in my life.
Wow. Yeah. And I see that you can say, I had someone love me and I remember that love. I choose now to give it to me because I want it, because I deserve it. And what's that like? What is it like to feel love? And then just allow that space after that question to arise what that experience is like, what that feeling is like.
Right. So it's very powerful and going in that moment. And then when people come to me, then that's when I do the clearings and I actually energetically release the pain you're holding, not the love. The love, I grow it and I bring it to you to accept yourself and love yourself. And I take you through different steps and teaching you how to love yourself and actually fall in love with yourself. That's when you can love the other person too.
Yeah. So powerful. So powerful. I love it, Bhavna. So this is amazing, and we're beginning to come towards the end. Time is flying by. I love this conversation. So juicy. In terms of, the final words of wisdom for us to attract the best love that we can, or own the best love that we can within ourselves, so that we can shine it out into the world and attract more of it back to us. Any other recommendations you'd give around that?
I just say is, no, we are all part of love. And we all come here to receive and give love. So as you want love, others want it too. So look at people with love instead of, any other emotion.
Yeah.
Because that makes us all a better person, and that creates a ripple effect. And when you look at that other person with love, the other person looks at another person with love. And that energy is created, and that vibration is created, and that keeps going forward.
Yeah.
Even if you're because it just moves from your head to the other person, picked up from the air, gone to the next person. And maybe a person who is about to commit suicide receives it and thinks, no, I do have love in my life, and doesn't do that.
Wow, that's
So
powerful.
You never know when you can actually save somebody's life by just saying, I'm going to be in love today.
Wow, that's powerful. And this reminds me of something else I heard a while back in practice. This sending my loved one, before I had my girlfriend, sending the woman of my dreams love. And just, from afar, just letting her know, whatever you're going through, whatever you're dealing with, like, I love you, and just know that there's someone in the world who supports you and who cares about you and who wants you to thrive and be happy and be fulfilled and be successful. And so I sent out this energy to her beforehand, which I believe, like, divinely cosmically connected us before we even met, which caused us to come into our each other's lives even faster. So it's like we can do this same thing to, someone who's maybe it's like a client, or just people in general. We can send out this love to specific people, specific personas.
Right now.
Yeah.
You okay with that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so let's just send it out. So just take a moment and close your eyes. Just putting your hand on your chest again, breathing it out, and just saying with me, Today, I send love to all. My love is unconditional. And I receive love from all. And I'm just sending it out to everybody to receive it and feel it. Breathe it out. And just, feel how that totally shifts you and makes you feel totally humble. Yeah. Gets you into that space of, hey, I love myself. I love everybody.
Wow. That's powerful. Bhavna, this is gold. This is so awesome. Oh my gosh, I love it. And we definitely want to know, how can we stay connected with you? What are the next steps our listeners or the people in our audience can take to keep growing with you? What can we do next?
So in order to connect with me, they can go on my website, which is www.b for Bhavna, hwellnessgroup.com.
Okay.
Or they can go on my Facebook page as well. So facebook.com/bhwellnessgroup.
Beautiful.
And they can just message there with anything. And, my website has most of the things. We have upcoming events, workshops, retreats, or if they needed just one-on-one sessions, there's some clearings there. And I have a lot of, if they just scroll down on my, website and my Facebook page, there's so many free things I have. I have a YouTube channel where I've done so many free meditations and
Mm.
clearings. It's very powerful.
Yes.
And then I have an upcoming book coming up, which is the new book, which I've just written, and it's a bestseller. And it's called Confused Love, Lust, or Spirituality. So, which
Mm.
is filled with a lot of clearings for your relationships, soulmate clearings, true love, twin souls, a lot of fun stuff in there.
I love it. I love it. So many resources. So powerful. So Bhavna, you're a superstar. Thank you so much for coming on, and I'll definitely be checking out for sure your YouTube channel to see what kind of meditations and clearings that you have on there, because I experienced it firsthand, and I know for our audience, if you enjoyed what she did and felt it, I felt it. It was super present for me. Definitely stay connected with her like that, and go to the bhwellnessgroup.com website and see what other services and retreats and workshops she has coming up. And join our Facebook group, facebook.com/BH Wellness Group. Definitely stay connected with her. And Bhavna, thank you so much for coming on today and sharing your light and your love and your wisdom. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, you're welcome. Have the best day ever, and we'll see you soon, okay?
Thank you. You have a wonderful day in your life.
Thank you. Take care. Yes, every day. Awesome. Take care.